As you see in the before pictures, there is a deck being built. It was constructed and built by another contractor, not myself. Okay, the deck is built. Now I am getting ready to paint it, stain it, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to use this Valspar. This is some that the owner had left over. It's the same color as she has on the fence here. So she kind of wants it the same color. I'm going to do that. I'm also going to fix this area up that's near the back door. I've already cleared all that off. This is how the backyard is looking so far. All of this area up here, I will clean. I'm going to change the ceiling fan blades out and things like that. On that, I'm just giving you one more look at the yard before I start. Okay, I finished 3 coats on the deck. Still haven't done the steps because they have to sand them and finish what they're doing on that part. I have nothing to do with that part, but I've done the 3 coats here. You can hardly see it really good because of the sun hitting off there, how my camera is focused on it, but it'll show a little bit later. You can see how dark the black is on there. It's probably just as dark as the fence is. So I'm going to let that dry. And while it's drying, I'm going to move on to building the gazebo frame. The gazebo is a 10-foot by 14-foot gazebo. So the next screen will show the gazebo frame up. Well, the next couple of screens will show that, just different angles of it. It's pretty big, pretty roomy. You'll see once we get finished with it and you see the furniture and everything placed, how big it actually is. I'm also just showing you where I kind of mapped out where I wanted the pavers to go. You'll see it better in another clip, but I was just placing those down to get an idea where I want to place them in the ground before we start digging. The steps are still not completed yet, so I haven't done anything with that area yet. And that's the entire frame. We got those bolted down to the deck. All of this around the sides in boxes and stuff is the rest of the gazebo parts. I'm just showing you up close now the lights that I said were on the fence. They're kind of low profile. We didn't want anything super bulky on the fence. And they are solar lights. We also put bottle openers around in different spots on the fence. I don't know if you saw that in one of the frames, but yeah. And this is how everything is looking so far. We still haven't gotten to everything in that area yet, but we did change the blades on the ceiling fans already. And I'm just showing where we are now. And this area over here around this tree, this bed area, I am going to redo that also. Add a few things in there to make the yard look aesthetically pleasing. And this is where we are so far. We're moving along. I will be also making a bench or area for all of her plants and things like that that you see laying out in the yard or around the yard, like over here in this area and stuff. So we will be designating a spot for those also. Okay, let's get back to work. The side project I'm working on is I will be building 2 benches to go on the porch area. Um, I'm using these planks here, 2x4s. They will be the seated part. I'm getting those stained and cut. This is the waterproof stains and sealer that I'm going to use. It's by Bear. I did get that at Home Depot. I only got a sample of it because I didn't need that much. I probably won't use but 2 coats on it. So I think I got 2 jars of the sample. So that was plenty to do both benches and to put like 2 coats on both. But I'm also using cinder blocks as a base for the benches. I'll show you those. They're on the side here. I've painted those black. That's just the first coat on them. I will be adding another probably 2 to 3 coats on that to get it like a deep, rich black color. Oh, and the color of the bear stain is kind of like a light grayish color. I decided to go with that as being light since we're doing dark on the base of it. So I'm just waiting on those to dry right now. And then we'll be moving on to the next project. Quickly, before we move on, I did want to show the first coat of stain on the 2x4s for the benches. They're looking really good. Like I said, it's a real light gray color. I think it'll get a tad bit darker once the third coat is added. I will be adding 3 coats to this. So this is how those are looking at the moment. And that's just leaned up against the fence drying on one side. I'll have to flip them and stain the other side and so forth. So those are drying. I also added a third coat on the cinder blocks here. They're looking really good too. So they're also drying. The color is looking really rich now, so I'm liking those. We will continuously let those sit in the sun there and dry out before we move on with building those benches. I bought these grass mats at Walmart. I'm just breaking them down and I'm adding them around this soccer ball to make like a grass ball just for decor. I found this sign at a thrift store. It had deck rules, but all the other wording was not what was originally on there. I added my own spin to it for backyard, added the little greenery around it, painted it blue and white and black, of course, since that's our colors. And I also top coated it with a clear coat of waterproof sealant because it will be outside. I'm also DIYing some decorative mushrooms. I made these with just bowls, different containers and things that I got from the dollar store. I believe Dollar Tree actually. And I just painted them the way I wanted them to look. I used black, blue, white since that's kind of the aesthetics or the colors that we're using in the backyard. I also added sand and rocks inside of the portion of the mushrooms that would be the stem, just so they would give it a little bit of weight. So, they won't get blown away in the wind or anything like that. We do want them to kind of be kind of heavy while they're on the ground. And I did do several different sizes because we didn't want them all the same size or the same height. I will also spray all of those with a clear coat to protect it from the elements outside. So, the paint doesn't fade so quickly. I also found this sign at a thrift store. I'm thinking about attaching it somewhere to the tree, but we'll find somewhere to place it out there for decorations. I bought some glow in the dark rocks that will go in the bed out there. Also, I have several packs of those. These are just some faux plants I had inside. I was going to get rid of them, but I decided to use them outside in her yard. She already has enough plants, so we wanted to get something faux to go back by the gazebo so she doesn't have to worry about watering them or anything like that. I'll get those cleaned up and ready to move outside also. Okay, first and foremost, before we even get started, I'm not a professional landscaper. I placed these down the best way I knew how to place them down, and I did them evenly as I knew how to do them. So if you see any imperfections, hey, I did the best I could, but The plus thing is they've been up for 3 years. We haven't had an issue with them. They haven't shifted. They haven't sunk. They haven't done any of those things. So I would say I've done a pretty decent job. But we laid all of the pavers in the process of finishing that up. They will lead from the deck to the back porch. There is a little black paint on the pavers. They will be completely black when we're finished. We won't paint them right now until we get them laid and placed where we want them to go. Okay, we're back. Still nothing done up here yet. I'll get to that in just a moment. But all of the pavers are laid. Still painting those right now, but I did put a kind of a garden trim, or I don't know what it's called, but I put that on the edge of the pavers to kind of keep them straight and keep them in line. And we also will be adding rocks and cement mixture in between those to kind of kill the grass from or the roots from growing in between the pavers. That's where the sign ended up going. I did finish the bed over here. You see our little mushrooms and things that we DIY. So that's how that area is looking. I did add the black mulch there and the rocks that are thrown in there. You can barely see them, but those are the glow in the dark pebbles that we bought that I showed earlier. And we got a few spotlights also added in those. Those are the trees that I DIY. We did add some blue little fake roses to them and planted them in some pots she already had back there. That's all for decor. Those are all faux plants, so they don't need to be watered or anything like that. And that's on the back side of the deck. And as you can see, it's only the frame still up of the gazebo. All the pieces are still on the ground separated. We are about to get to that soon. I will not be recording the process of building the gazebo completely, but I will show the final look, of course. I did have two pavers left over. I have this one on this side of the gazebo, and I also have one on the other end. Those will house the outdoor trash cans that will be on either side of the gazebo. So I'll show you that in the finish. Like I said, those are still the parts to the gazebo that needs to be put together. Next will be this area here, the front porch and the flower bed area. Okay, and to not make this video super long, guys, we are just going to jump to the finale. And this is how everything turned out. That is the flower bed area that we designed. That is the front porch. Those are the benches that we made. I'll get a little closer in another shot later. And as you see the walkway, we did add the solar lights on the side of that. That's the outdoor trash cans that are on top of the pavers. Those are weighted down, so they will not move also. And this is the entire gazebo area. We have an entire sectional underneath there. And this is also a fire pit table. It's just covered right now because it's hot. Wintertime, you can take that out, remove the top. And this is the flower bed area. We did add mulch and glow in the dark rocks over here also. It's just a bench I built there just to add some height to some of the smaller plants that she has. And again, you see the walkway area. Like I said before, we were going to add the mixture of the pebbles and the cement together to go in between each one of the pavers. We've done that. So that just gives it a little more stability there. Just pointing out the trash cans that we put on top of the pavers. They are weighted down, so they will withstand the elements outside. That was another little sitting area. This area was left empty on purpose because she has a tent that she brings out for entertainment purposes. So we kind of left that like it is, so she would have a place to put that. These are coolers as well as side tables. They kind of twist up and you put the ice in the inside, put your drinks in the inside to entertain. Those came from Amazon. The two ceiling fans and the light fixture in the middle, all of that came from Home Depot. I think it's the Hampton Bay brand. But yeah, those are mounted up. We do have to still hide the cords up, which we're going to do that. We just want to make sure all of it worked before we actually hid the cords and things. I did add lights around the gazebo, as you can see here. They are controlled with the remote. Almost all the decor pieces and things came from our local stores like TJ Maxx, Hobby Lobby, Ross, Burlington's, places like that. If you have any questions about anything in the video or want to know where we got most of the things in the videos, if you comment below, I'll try to get the answer for you as soon as possible. So as we're coming to the end of the video, this is just leftover mulch and rocks that we had from doing the flower bed area around the tree and the plant area where we built the little bench. And we just thought of putting it around the deck would be fine. And I will have to say that the homeowner was very pleased. She was happy about the outcome of the makeover. She's been entertaining and all of that. Everything has held up, like I said before, being that we done this project over 3 years ago. But overall, it took us about 3 weeks to finish everything. Just because we were waiting on pieces to come in through the mail, and some pieces came in one at a time. So we had to wait on those items. But overall, it turned out really great. So I will leave you with the remaining footage, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye bye.